I frankly have never seen more opportunity in my life. When you get volatility like this, it's opportunity. One man's crisis is another man's opportunity. Hi guys, this is Mark Shaw's in the Pattern Trader, and over my right shoulder you can see a snapshot of what's going on in the financial markets. The stock market hit a double circuit breaker. That means trading gets halted after a certain percentage decline. It reopened, went further down, hit another percentage decline, and at one point was down 10% for the day. This is after stocks have already been off 20% in the last couple of weeks. So a historic meltdown with the backdrop of the coronavirus and the twin shock of the OPEC meeting recently, where they couldn't come to agreement. Russia became an impediment, and oil prices plunged from $50 to $30. I think oil is going to go down to $15, but that's a whole other story. And so I don't know really where to begin, because I have been alerting our members, frankly, since October 2018, that there was something very wrong to me. So now I'm an old guy. I'm as old as dust. And, I think there's a value to sometimes being older and wiser. I kind of been looking with just disbelief at the current environment we seem to be living in, this instant gratification culture, where it just seems like everything we want, we get. And, I'm old enough to remember that, as a young guy, I struggled. I struggled to pay rent. Amazon didn't drop ship something on my door the minute I clicked a button. We weren't driving around in brand new SUVs. And, I've been watching in amazement in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, where the stock market just kept on going up day after day, week after week, month after month. And, to me, there's, something as, physics and logic. Trees just don't grow to the sky. And so, frankly, I've been, I've had my big money on the sidelines since October 2018. And yeah, I missed a good part of this. Now, when I say the big money, I've had some very decent money trading. I made 7 figures just in the last couple of weeks in my trading account. But my serious money's been on the sidelines, because to me, it just felt like something was wrong under the hood. We were building this massive amount of government debt. Global debt to GDP has been at historic levels. U.S. has got $23 trillion in national debt. We've got $1 trillion per year budget deficit. Against this backdrop, everything seemed to be rosy. And to me, it just felt wrong. The technicals looked wrong. And, I've been kind of just waiting on the sidelines. And, I pounced big time in the last couple of weeks and just made a fortune of money. Now, I just want to say that, in this environment, where we've got tremendous uncertainty and tremendous unknowns, we've got health risks, we've got, all kinds of things now where people may be worried about their jobs, worried about whether they need to stay home. And there's definitely going to be, an alteration of our lifestyle. And with that, I think a lot of people, are, prone to, pull up the drawbridges and say, look, I better just go to safety. And, and of course you should. Now, that's been one of the big problems that I've had for a long time, is that everybody has been on the same side of the trade, meaning that, everybody's long real estate, long bonds, long stocks, long assets. It's been a one-way freight train for a long time. And so, to my mind, if you go with the sheep, you eventually get slaughtered. And that's what's been happening. We have a whole generation of money managers on Wall Street in their 20s and 30s now who've never seen a bear market. I mean, since 2009, we've kind of gone straight up. So if you're managing assets, you're, used to going to Le Cirque and lifting champagne glasses and toasting, how you're, generating great returns for your investors. And now how are those young kids looking? Got complete egg on their face. The portfolio's down 30% in a week. And so I've always kind of been a Contra guy. I've always been an alternative investor. I don't characterize myself as a trend trader or a swing trader. I look for opportunities. And to me, this huge buildup of complacency was a huge opportunity. Now, I don't just say that, in After Effect. Here's a graph of gold. I'm going to have our team put up a better picture than that. I sent out an email two days ago to our investors that gold to me looked like it was topping at $1,700. Now again, you got to remember the backdrop of people dying and this pandemic, and how could you short gold? You'll see in a moment. I put a big bet on shorting gold, and you can see that in today's session. I said the last week that gold's likely to drop $100 in a week, and here you go. Gold dropped from $1,700 to $1,580 to $120 in 2 days. Now, I just tried an experiment because, so many times people say, well, I see you making money, but I don't have, big money. I've got a smaller account. I don't know really, how to make money, like that. And I think also what I'm trying to say is that in this environment, it's very easy to pull up the drawbridges and say, wow, there's a lot of risk here. I shouldn't step in here. I might have to worry about, food or my family. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. Don't trade with money that, you need to buy groceries with. But on the other hand, I frankly have never seen more opportunity in my life. When you get volatility like this, it's opportunity. One man's crisis is another man's opportunity. The only difference is you need to be, know what you're doing. And hopefully that's why people have been attracted to the pattern trader. And I started the pattern trader not to give away trades. Although, in a batch of trades last week, our members pocketed 3,000 pips being short dollar yen in this crisis. We got in at 110, got out at 102, made 1,600 pips on 2 trades in a week. At the same time, we were carrying long positions in pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand went from 202 to 218, 1,600 pips. And, in a collection of, 4 trades, our members pocketed 3,000 pips. Now, with the gold trade, I'm up another 700 pips overnight on the short side of gold. Now, again, I have very large trading accounts, and, kind of makes me uneasy to show these accounts. So what I did, this week, and it wasn't this week, it was 2 days ago. I'm going to show you an account that I opened, a live account. You can see it says wire of $24,000 to my broker. I don't know why 24. I should have sent 25, but I sent 24. And I just wanted to start an experiment with a smaller account, smaller than, my huge, what's become a huge trading account now, just to show you that in this environment, not only should you not panic, you should look at this as a giant opportunity. So I took this $24,000 account, here it is, and as of a few minutes ago, this account was trading at $130,000. So I pocketed $71,000 in closed positions, and there's about $31,000 in open positions. And so on that $24,000 account, I've made $104,000. So 4x, 400% in 2 days. Now, again, I don't want you guys, going out there and going crazy and then say, detonating your money and then coming back to me and saying, that you misled me, you misrepresented me. So it's on this video. I'm going to put a disclaimer right here. Just because I'm doing it, it doesn't mean you can. But what I'm saying is, armed with the right tools, the right mindset, the right knowledge, that trading conditions like this are large opportunities. You should not be shying away. This is where you should be stepping in. And again, this is what we do at the Pattern Trader. I give you all of the tools and knowledge to understand price action. So I'm not trading the news. Donald Trump came out last night with a press conference and said, there's a huge travel ban, from U.S. to Europe. Which, should have added a lot of uncertainty. And, I was shorting into the gold market, when gold was about $1,650. And, then it started going against me, and you think, well, this is insane. But I was looking at the price patterns. I wasn't looking at emotion. I wasn't watching his speech. I wasn't looking at how the market was trading. I'm looking objectively at price action and price patterns. So even though I have the TV on behind me, you'll notice there's no sound. So I don't listen to what these guys have to say. I don't listen to pundits. I only look at objective price action. And based on objective price action, my account is up 400% in 3 days. I was going to start this experiment and say this is going to be a 1 week experiment, and in 3 days I'm up 400%. And so again, I just want to show you what's possible. So if you only have $500 or $2,000, you can use these moments to exploit giant opportunities. Whenever you have volatility like this, there is huge opportunity, and you can basically evaluate that opportunity by looking objectively at the price action and by understanding what's going on. So even though gold was going to the sky for the last several weeks, I've been warning our members there was a bearish divergence with silver. I didn't like the price action last week. It put on a double top. And I think gold is over, even with this backdrop of craziness. Now, my wife said, I told her this morning, the markets are likely have bottomed here. And she goes, well, what happens if the pandemic grows? I said, the markets are a discounting mechanism. They are ahead of the news. So they've priced in. We've lost trillions of dollars in market cap in the last couple of days. But the markets are pricing in the worst kind of disaster. Now, I'm not saying the stock market is an absolute bottom. Actually, I bought the absolute low. I bought on the low of the second reopening, and it's up a ton now. I'm making a ton on that. And we'll see if this is a temporary low. I think it's a trading low, certainly. So again, this is all the things that I teach our members at the Pattern Trader, and I look forward to having you as part of our family. So with that said, I wish you a healthy and prosperous trading day, and I will see you next time.